Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Oh. No gloss. No gloss, episode 3. We're so glad to be here.
Guys.
Hi, guys.
Wow, we sounded just identical.
Yeah, that's what we do to our mom.
Hi, guys.
So you do it just like he will say to mom, and then I'll do it.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, my word. That's
Wow,
crazy.
that's so crazy.
I didn't even recognize myself.
I know, it's getting weird.
Ah.
Okay, let's say Binker at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Binker. Weird. Okay. Welcome to episode 3. Today we're going to talk about loss and grief and healing.
As we welcome with laughter.
Yeah. Finding joy in the midst, right?
Oh, yeah.
You have to. You literally have to find, we call it pockets of joy. You have to find them in every single day, no matter what. But let's just start with how you're doing. How was your week? It's Labor Day weekend. Is it Labor Day or Memorial Day?
I have no clue. I
Okay,
think
so
it's Labor Day.
It's Labor Day, yeah.
Because we're not supposed to labor, but we still do.
Right. We're not supposed to be working, but here we are.
But I got off work, so that was exciting.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't ask for it. They just didn't schedule me. But I would have been making quite a bit of money. Time and a half on Labor Day.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. I'd be like, I should have worked.
Wow. I need to talk to Dustin about that for us. It's just an option. I don't know.
That is a great idea.
Something to think about, Brother D.
Like the Sunday preceding it, you totally should have got time and a half.
Right. Time and a half. Okay. It's a thought for sure. Just putting it out there. So this week was a little bit crazy, just busy, but I think every week is busy.
Totally.
But I had a wild incident.
Oh, no.
Okay, first of all, I'm a crazy protective mom. Only like I want my kids to have fun. I want them to do all sorts of things, but it's super important to me that they know if anybody ever messed with them, they will pay.
Yep.
And I will handle it. Not like I'm going to go
Game
hurt
over.
somebody, but I'm going to handle it. So we went on, it was just me, Brent, and the boys, and we went on last night, I don't know, the night before Labor Day. And
Labor Day Eve.
yeah, Labor Day Eve. And we went to Andretti. We were like, let's take the boys. They can go go-kart racing and all these fun things, right? Well, we had to wait forever because it was packed in there. I mean, shoulder to shoulder families because it was storming in Texas. So I think people were trying to find a way to get out and, whatever. So we get there and it's so packed and we started doing things in the arcade, playing games, which is honestly, the kids want to use all of their money on the claw machine.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
I'm like, what a waste of time and money. But they do it, right? Well, these 2 teenage boys come running by. I mean, sprinting by, trample completely over Clay. They were holding a bag and it like kind of wrapped around his neck a little bit. And I started going, I was going after them. And then you know what? I'm proud of me because I did nothing to them. But you know what I did? I stopped and I talked to the police and I
Got
said,
them arrested.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Take those boys to the clink. I stopped and I said, hey, I just want to let you guys know that those boys just trampled my son and I am not okay with that. And they need to have a consequence for it. And he goes, oh, absolutely, ma'am. Would you like me to have them removed from the facility? And then I had a little bit of a compassionate heart and I was like, no, you don't need to have them removed, but you need to scare them really, really bad right now because that's unacceptable. So my blood was boiling and I just did nothing. Like I didn't hurt anybody, but I think I channeled my frustration in the right lane.
Oh,
isn't that good?
Yeah.
So growth.
Absolutely.
I didn't talk to him. I didn't yell at him. I just went straight to the authorities.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then when I was leaving, the officer said, you have a good night, ma'am, and we're here to protect you and make sure everybody's taken care of. So, I mean, I feel like that was a win for me.
It's a good
But
mom
nobody
moment.
messes with my kids.
No way.
It just doesn't happen.
No
Okay,
way.
so let's get rolling here. I'm going to share just a little bit about, I had a crazy, I'm going to do this like high level, okay? So when I was in my early 20s, I had gone to Thailand. And love Thailand, by the way.
Yes, it's our
my
favorite
goodness.
country.
Love. That's where our sister is from too. So she's not from there, but like she spent years and years on
Lots
the
of it.
mission field there. So she kind of introduced us to Thailand and we absolutely fell in love with it. But I came back from being there for like a month and I was so sick. We didn't know what was going on. We couldn't figure it out. It started a whole process of us going to doctors and specialists trying to get answers and searching for them. I was in so much pain, couldn't keep anything down, was constantly sick, no energy, basically sleeping. At one point, they found like 250 parasites that I had in my system. So did all the process to get those out. I still wasn't better. They couldn't find the answer, thought it was ulcerative colitis. There was so many different diagnoses, and every one of them kind of just led us to a dead end, basically. Yeah. So it was super discouraging. That happened over a year. I had lost over 60 pounds, could not literally keep anything down. At one point, I was on like over 60 pills a day, trying to just flush my system, things to bring me adrenaline, things to bring me strength.
Detox pills, not like drugs.
Yeah, no.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, no. Like pills, like vitamins, those kind of things. So we went through this whole process, and we had so many. My parents were pastors, so you can imagine like that was just kind of the constant thing on their minds of who can we get to come pray for people. Or for Casey, we had people that had seen miracles come and pray for me, and it almost got discouraging because I just was like, thank you. Or I found myself like apologizing to people because they would say, come and believe and fast and on and on and on, all of the things. And I would just apologize. Like, I'm so sorry. We're going to, get our miracle. But I think it was a super discouraging time for me. Whitney was there. She never left my side. My mom was there, never left my side. They would, make sure that I could make it to all my doctor's appointments. And at the end, I think near the end, help me remember, I was just laying. I think I was just sleeping majority of the time. And my last doctor that I saw, he said that I will not ever have kids, that I will not live past my 25th birthday, and that my body will completely deteriorate and I will die. So that was our last doctor, and we obviously were like, we're not going to accept this diagnosis. And my cousin, she was at a retreat, and the pastor there had a word for her and said, there's someone who's sick in your family and dying, and you need to pray for her, and she's going to get better. She's going to get healed. And we met at a park. It was so simple. Me, Mom Whit, and my cousin Nicole. If you're listening, Nicole, we love you. I'm so grateful for your obedience and listening to the Lord. And we met at a park. They prayed, and it was kind of like another one of those things where I just was feeling guilty and just like, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Okay, gotta go type of thing. And
she said no.
She said no. Yeah, we prayed.
3 times.
So many times. And then we finally ended it. I said, okay, we got to get going. And so we started leaving, and I stood up, and for the first time in an entire year, I had no pain in my body. So my body would hurt just even to the touch. It would hurt. I couldn't even drink water without instant stomach pain, instant problems. And I was like, I have no pain in my body. This is crazy. I felt strength fill my bones. I was walking on my own. And then I said, I'm so hungry. Yeah. We went and got a salad, which that was the thing the doctors were like, don't eat salad.
It's like rough on your digestive system. So they were like, don't eat the salad. It can roughen up your GI tract and everything. So
right. So I was like, I just want a salad. That's all I want to eat.
We were like, wait a minute.
I know. We were kind of, Mom and Whit were like, are you sure? Okay, should we do it? So I went, I had a salad, ate it, completely fine, no problems, digested it, no pain. And ever since that day, it's 7/11. We always celebrate every year. My body's completely whole and well, no problems. I have 3 kids, completely healed, like huge miracle in my personal life. So that's kind of going to lead us to the story about our dad. That's just one of many miracles that we've witnessed and seen, but one that's so personal. That it was my own body that we all witnessed and watched God, completely heal me. We went back to doctors. Every scan, every x-ray shows 0 problem, like nothing. So we're going to talk kind of about the story of Dad and losing him, and then also the faith that we had in the middle of that. So Whit kind of like set the scene a little bit for everyone, just about Dad, like share the story of how when he got diagnosed and that journey a little bit.
Yeah, so basically, Dad got diagnosed with stage 4 thyroid cancer. Was it July of last year? July of last year. And he had had severe back pain for quite a while and was doing physical therapy. Nothing was helping at all. And the doctors wanted him to continue the physical therapy before getting an MRI. And we were like, something is wrong. Like the physical therapy was not helping at all and honestly making it worse. And so that's where it started, was the back pain. And then we were like, let's get to the ER. Like this is getting way too severe. So we went into the ER and they did a CT scan and they found, I don't know how many tumors on his spine. And I'm going to hybrid it. There's so many details within it. But to make our very long story a little bit short is they found out there was no origin of the cancer. So it wasn't spinal cancer or bone cancer. And we were like, wait a minute. So they wanted to treat him just with a blanket chemotherapy. And we were like, absolutely not.
Right.
And
like a shot in the dark, basically.
Let's just
see
treat
if
it with
works.
chemo.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, absolutely not. And so it was a huge blow to all of us. We were like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like what? How is this happening? So when that happened, it took about 2 months to find the origin. They were like, if you don't want the chemo, we're not going to treat it until we find the origin because we don't know how to specifically treat it.
Right.
And so we consulted naturally, we consulted all the medical ways and literally tried every single thing possible. Finally, they located the source. It was in his thyroid, and it's medullary thyroid cancer that had metastasized to his spinal cord and everywhere throughout his body and his bones. And so he was in excruciating pain constantly.
Yeah. Like for my dad to say his pain is a 10 on a level of 1 to 10 is like probably you and I's we're going to die.
Literally. Yeah. Like he never complains.
No.
Always is good. Always is fine. And so that led us on a very wild journey. And they found this magic pill that would, they called it the chemo pill. It's not chemotherapy through IV, but it was just a pill. And what was it, 30 grand a month or something?
30 grand a month for this pill.
Thankfully, we got insurance
that
covered.
would
Thank you.
Not cure, but treat his cancer and give him like 10 years of life. Years. Like, easy.
And they were like very hopeful. They're like, this is it.
100%.
Yeah, hopeful. He's gonna be amazing. And they called it the magic pill. And they're like, he's gonna be fine. So we're hopeful and obviously praying relentlessly as well for a miracle as we had seen in Casey. Yeah. And we knew that God could do it. And we struggled with if he will, we knew he could, but I don't personally, we'll get into our thoughts behind it all, but I struggled with, is he going to, Yeah. But anyways, so then we were just going to do this pill and we started on it. He started to feel a tiny bit better.
Yeah, we saw his levels drop instantly.
Yeah.
Like it was really quick that we saw his levels kind of even out. We were celebrating, rejoicing. And we had the entire church fasting, praying, people from all around the world that have known Dad messaging and praying, having their churches pray. I mean, an actual army of people surrounding him in prayer.
Absolutely. So anyways, after that happened, time went on. I mean, we're skipping all of the hospital visits and all of the complications within it. He had so many issues intertwined in this, GI issues. He would throw up, nausea. I mean, it was in the ER constantly.
They knew us all. Yeah. Every one of them knew us by name, knew who we were.
Yeah. So I was in nursing school at the time. So a lot of my study sessions were in the hospital room and me and Casey and the other kids, like we didn't want to miss any second or any chances we had with him to spend time. But we were very hopeful. And I know for myself, like I did not even give death an option. I was just like, no, he's getting better. He's getting healed.
Right.
So I wasn't even going there in my mind. We were rallying.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, so then back in March, it was actually April, the end of April, he was severely weak and we were like, something is wrong. And his blood levels were low. We knew, I was like, there's something is wrong. So he needs a blood transfusion. Yeah. So we took him into the ER and they're about to give him.
It was the end of February because he died March 9.
Oh yeah. Sorry, February. Yeah. I went forward instead of backwards.
That's fine.
Yeah, February. And went into the ER and we were going to get his, like I said, blood. And my mom had mentioned he had been a little confused. I thought it was due to anemia and just his low blood levels.
Hemoglobins were so low. So we were just like, this is all he needs. He needs a transfusion. It's going to be fine.
Yep. And so then they were like, well, let's just do a CT of his brain and just check it out. And the doctor came back in and he said, I have really bad news. The cancer has spread to his brain and it's not looking good. And we could not believe it because we thought he was getting better. We were like hopeful, excited. And we thought, okay, get a transfusion of blood. We're going to be out here. He's going to get his energy back and all of this, and got that horrible news. So he got admitted and then
they said he wouldn't live past 5 days. Yeah. I think they gave him 5 to 6 days left to live, and they found 6 or 7 tumors on his brain. Yep. There was nothing more they could do. Like it was done. Anything else would be like a massive detriment to any kind of life he had left. So he wouldn't make it through a surgery. Yep. None of it.
Because they were like, we can do surgery, but it's not going to help. And it's not. Right. Yeah.
It had spread at that point to his shoulder, his hip.
Everywhere.
It was all over. His ribs, it was everywhere. Yeah. So then he
got admitted.
Yep. And they put
him on hospice.
Yep. Put him on hospice, and we were able to bring him home. So he was home for the last few days of his life, but completely unresponsive at home. But in the hospital, we got to say goodbye. But we also were dealing with that tension of faith, and also like, okay, God, we trust you. So those the struggle between faith and trust. Yeah. And I think, for me, I just was like, he's getting up out of that bed. Yeah. I just don't see another option. Yeah. This is what's going to happen. And even though the road looked dark, everyone's telling us this is not going to happen. This is impossible. But I feel like that's kind of who we are. Like, don't tell me something's impossible. Yeah. No way. Yep. We know he's going to get up out of bed. We had so many words about him being healthy and whole and living a long life. We had people from the church in the parking lot literally worshiping and praying and declaring. And so it was definitely a huge tension point. And he even, he said, I want to live. Yeah. And we messaged out. We were very public about what was going on. So we messaged out like, everybody pray. We were fasting, praying, believing, but also experiencing that, like, I don't want to be so far on the faith side of like, he's going to live, that I'm not going to say goodbye, that I'm not going to miss any moments with him. So we didn't leave. All of our siblings, we did not leave. We were there between the hospital stay and home. I think it was 11 days because he actually hung on for quite a while there. They said about 6 days, but it was quite a bit, a few more days longer than that.
And they even told us, they're like, typically when family members are in the room, the patient will stay with us longer. And we were like, well, he's going to stay then because we're not leaving. Yeah, and we wouldn't leave.
No, we wouldn't leave. Yeah. And we had worship music. We had a piano in there. All of us are very musical. So we played and worshiped like around the clock. Me and Whitney slept in the room with him, didn't leave. So then he went to see Jesus on March 9th. And we were all there. And he took his last breath and we were all there with him. Yep. So why don't you tell us? It was absolutely awful to say that. It was absolutely terrible. Yeah. Why don't you tell us what surprised you the most about grief? Like, what was... Yeah. Obviously, like, we're going to get emotional through this, but that's also speaks to, we want everyone to really know that this journey is not easy, and there's so many hard parts to it, but we're finding the joy in it. So what would you say surprised you the most about grief?
Yeah. It's been a whirlwind for sure. I didn't
Grief
expect.
sucks.
Yeah. And I think it is so wild how, like, I don't know, for us, I think everyone processes differently. And for me specifically, I'm naturally joyful. So it really threw me for a loop that I was
Totally.
sad because I was like, wait a minute, this is not who I am. Like, I'm joyful. And so I think what surprised me the most was those moments of like, I don't want to see anybody. Like, I don't want to get out of the house. Like, I don't want to go do anything. I'm the most extroverted person there is. And I was finding myself alone. And I was just thinking like how crazy grief can isolate
Yes.
people to a
Right.
point of, a point of discouragement. And, if you don't get out, if you don't push yourself,
Yep.
I mean, that depression sets in and the enemy can work with that.
Yes.
like massively.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think for me was getting out of that comfort zone of like, oh yeah, I don't want to go to this event, but I'm going to go. And I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't know what they're going to say to me and I don't
Yeah.
really want to hear it. Like, honestly,
Right.
I'm just being real. But like legit, it was a struggle and it still
Totally.
is. It still is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're talking about this to say we're still walking through this. We are not experts because
Yeah.
we have no idea what we're doing, but
Right.
we're trying to choose joy and
Yeah.
live on. We have such a legacy to uphold and we
Yeah.
are so honored to have that because Dad was literally the best person there ever was. So,
The best.
yeah.
Nobody like him for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, grief is a bear. And people tell us it's just going to get worse. So I'm like,
Thanks.
I mean, people say the craziest things. We're not going to go on that, but we will at one point kind of talk about maybe some things to not say to people that are grieving or just lost somebody. There's quite a few notes that we have, but also when people don't know what to do, but they want to do something. So
Yeah,
we do
absolutely.
appreciate that. We had the best support system.
Oh my goodness. We were so
I am
grateful.
still blown away by the love. I still get texts from people all the time thinking about you, surrounding you in prayer. Just so it's absolutely amazing. So we have the best community.
And literally, like on Sunday, Pastor Mads talked about community, and it's like this event showed how important that really is because without community, I mean, I don't know what we would have done. Without the Lord, without community, we
Oh,
would
my
have
goodness.
legit crumbled.
Right.
So it is important to have
is.
people surrounding you and to involve them in your journey because
Right.
a lot of times we don't want to share or be vulnerable, but like it hurts, absolutely, but it is so important
Yeah.
for your healing.
Absolutely. And you invest in community now for when life absolutely crumbles
Yep.
and you're not alone. I mean, it shows.
Yeah.
And it's a simple, we talked about this even on our walk this morning, like to be a friend, you have to be friendly.
Yep.
And it shows, it's also in every area. And we talked about it last time. You have to give what you want to receive because when absolute hell breaks loose on your life, who's going to be there to uphold you? Who's going to be there to surround you? So invest in people now because it's going to, like, things are going to happen. Tragedy is going to happen. Trauma is going to happen. You can't escape it.
Yeah.
In this world, you will have trouble.
Yeah.
We will have trouble.
Literally.
But take heart, and we have to choose to take heart. So we're going to do really quick fire questions, okay? Are you ready?
Yep.
It's still not super easy to talk about.
Yeah.
So obviously we're working through this.
Yes.
One thing that comforts you the most right now. So these are really quick.
Yeah.
One thing that comforts you the most.
Literally.
Besides Jordy.
And God.
Yeah.
Besides Jordy and God, family, 100%.
Yes.
I mean, that's the next one. But yeah.
Yep.
Family is everything. And
I can't imagine life without our family. I want them around. I want them everywhere.
Yep.
I mean, I think those first few months, did we meet nearly every night for dinner? Like everybody meet here, everybody come here. I mean, it is like there is
because we
nothing
didn't know
like
what to
family.
do.
We didn't know what
lost
to
our
do.
the rock of our family.
Yep.
Legit.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. A memory of Dad that makes you smile every time.
Ooh. For me, it's just his constant encouragement. And I know that he wasn't there for me in my graduation for nursing. And I just know that if he was there, he would have been my biggest fan.
Totally. That was probably like
His encouragement.
the hardest
That's it.
thing was watching Whitney do something that my dad like stood by her and believed in her the most, I would say, and would be so, so proud. So seeing those life moments and him not here physically to participate was really, really hard. And that happened very soon after. So he passed March, and then
May.
when did you
Graduate
graduate?
in May.
In May. Yeah.
2 months, exactly.
Yeah. So definitely really, really hard.
Whose idea was this?
I know. Are we still doing no gloss, or can we edit? Now that we're sobbing our eyes out. That's okay. Okay.
We want to show that we're real too.
Totally.
Like that's the whole point of this, but also with these stories, like it is to show you like we're out there pushing through our feelings, but we have moments like this where we're processing.
Yeah. We're in the middle of it.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll just do 2 more, okay? One piece of advice that you'd give someone walking through fresh loss.
Ooh. I would say give time for your emotions and don't push them out. And listen to God's voice and press into his comfort because it's there. And I know for me, wow, like could not do it without God's comfort.
I can't imagine it without the Lord.
Yeah.
I think like one thing for me, there's been so many, and it sounds so cliche, but you know, God is so close to people whose hearts are hurting and broken. And I just had to find peace in God. I think I still, I am finding peace in God.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm a big walker. Like I like to just be outside, and I would just go walk for hours and hours and cry and just kind of like lean into all of those feelings and find space to let that out. But also something really special for me in the middle of all of this that God really spoke to me was I love to worship, and we both like have led worship over the years. And what God really spoke to me is the closest I can get to my dad is by worshiping, because that's what he's doing 24/7 around the clock. And so and it sounds so ridiculous because you're like, are you really? But honestly, anytime I can find a worship, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
In the car, when I'm walking, I'm just like, God, I worship you, or I lift you up, or I'm so thankful for your presence, God, because I don't know how people do it without him.
Seriously.
I have no clue.
No.
And if you're trying to do it without him, consider bringing him in because it'll change absolutely everything. And so, go ahead.
Even up to Dad's last breath, I remember him being so weak, and before he was admitted to the hospital, and he was at church, and we're like, Dad, you need to go home, you need to rest. And he said, I will worship until my very last breath, and I will come in these doors as long as I can. Yeah. And we couldn't believe it, but also we could, because that's Dad. But what we're doing as we worship, it's like it's what was modeled for us. Totally. So I think that is really special and speaks to who he was as a person.
Absolutely. Yeah. We will praise God no matter the circumstances. And he taught us that. He modeled that for us. Our roots are so deep that the biggest earth-shattering thing happened, losing our dad, but my faith hasn't wavered. I've never been angry at God. I am like, God, no matter what, we will praise you. And that's even like right after he passed, all of us just said, we need to worship. Yeah. And that sounds like, right. But it's true. Legitimately, we all turned on worship music. Yeah. And it was Yet I Will Praise, that song we listened to. I still listen to it all the time. That even when everything shatters, we're going to praise you. We're going to lift you up no matter what.
And even in the questioning, like we were confused. Yes. We still are. I have questions.
I'm so confused.
Like, we could have done more. I could have done this or all the things. Why did we go to this place? I mean, the questions riddled my mind personally. I was just like, where did we go wrong? You know, and the Lord has just been there to comfort, and there's no way we can actually figure it out. No. So we put our energy on praising and thanking God for the life that he did have here on earth. And I am grateful that he's out of pain now, but I want him here.
Oh my goodness.
Just want him
every
here.
day. There's not a day that goes by that I'm like, life would be so much better if he was here.
With 7 grandbabies and 5 kids.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
And we're going to talk about that too, a little bit of also us dealing with grief, and then our kids, the grandkids dealing with grief and walking through that and helping them. And while you're in so much pain yourself, it's literally no joke.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yes, at times you feel like you can't breathe. For me, multiple panic attacks, like things that I never dealt with before, but anxiety and fear, and I mean, so many things that I wrestle with and continually have to choose victory over. I have to be intentional about it. So let's just share one quick tool that before we end that actually our counselor gave me, and I've been sharing with everybody. So basically, I was kind of getting just anxiety around the fact of that my grief would just present itself and I was out of control. So obviously that speaks to a deeper issue. I love to have control, but it just would scare me. Like, I don't know when this is kind of going to come up. And when it does, I don't know what to do because I just need to cry. So I would just run out to my car. I just need to cry, whatever it would look like, right? Well, something just like a basic tool, and maybe we're preaching to the choir, and this is just new to us, so take it or leave it, right? That she told me was, when your grief comes, because you know when it's coming, and this sounds weird, she said, say to your grief, thank you for coming. I'm going to meet with you later. I'm going to set an appointment. I'm going to meet with you later. And it sounded so weird. I actually laughed. I was like, okay, thank you. And then she said, but you have to meet your grief later. Yeah. And you need to do it that day. So
can't leave it hanging.
You cannot leave it hanging. You have to meet with it later. So I was like, okay, well, thank you so much. Have a good day. And sure enough, grief came knocking, and I was like, oh my gosh. In the middle, it actually was, I was on my way to be on the news. And I was, they're about to talk about the Dream Center. It was a really big thing. I was in the car, and I'm like, oh no. And here it came. And I said, thank you for coming. I said it out loud. Thank you for coming. I am going to meet with you later. And I'm telling you, in that moment, it lifted. My mind was clear. I had clear headspace. I was able to really focus and be present where I was. And then that night, I went on my walk and I said, okay, let's grieve. And I opened up the door. I cried. I looked through all my pictures of Dad, all my texts from him. And I was like, oh my gosh, it worked. And so I thought, okay, let's try this again. So then I go back one more time, and I needed to test it a couple times. And I was at back to school, and my dad loves the Dream Center. If any of you know him, that was his pride and joy. And I was at back to school. I was in the middle of the event, my dad would be so happy right now. And I said, thank you for coming. I'm going to meet with you later. And it lifted. Wow. I had clarity. And that night I went on a walk and cried and looked at all my texts from Dad after any event or anything, that he'd send, how proud he was. So that's been a practical tool. I love that. And I think you have been using it. We've been giving it to Mom to use. And it has helped me so much. It's not pushing it down. It's not saying I'm not going to grieve, because we know if you do that, it comes to a big problem. I don't know what the big problem is, but people tell us it's a big problem. And so that has been something that's practically really, really worked.
So good. So
we just want to reassure everybody, let everybody know, we know that grief is ongoing, and there's going to be waves of that. And it's like a circle. So completely, going at all times. And it just comes in different ways. And we know that we're literally 5 months in to this. So who knows what the future looks like. So we want to just invite everyone, no matter what you're going through, maybe you're dealing with grief on a large scale level, small level, whatever that might look like to you, just to find healing and comfort. And we would love to talk with anybody. Honestly, message us. We would love to talk with you, and even be a listening ear in the middle of so much pain and loss.
And honestly, we respect anybody who does say something. Obviously, we're saying sometimes you don't know what to say, which is accurate, but say something, because silence is worse than just, saying the wrong thing, honestly.
Don't suffer alone. Don't suffer alone. Absolutely. Find somebody, get in community, talk to somebody, find purpose in something. I know that's been huge for us. Find some purpose in doing something. Take some action. Yes. Get moving. That's something that's really helped us. So Anyways, we covered a lot. But next episode, we are going to be talking about having faith through hard seasons and what that looks like. How do you hold steady? How do we still have faith? And that's a question we get a lot. Like the biggest miracle, probably the thing you wanted the most ever in your lifetime, you didn't see happen the way you wanted it to. And so how do you still have faith? So we're going to talk about that. Anything else?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. For now, thanks for listening. We are No Gloss.